Hello, what's up, people? It is me, ET, doing something a little bit different because, alright, Soletta Sundays have been going absolutely insane, man. Okay, episode 17 just released at the time recording this, and I absolutely love that episode and just felt like making a quick discussion video, just getting all my thoughts out on it, like, in a quickly manner. Like, I still want to make a video about the Witch from Mercury once the whole season's over, but there are just some things I just want to vent these emotions out somewhere. So just here's a quick discussion video just about all my thoughts on the episode. So just as a quick recap, since this is my first time making a video like this for season 2, I've been absolutely loving every single episode so far in the season. It starts off kind of calm, like a little tame for the first episode, but I still really enjoyed it. I just still love Witch from Mercury. It was that perfect episode to be like, oh yeah, we're back. I am so into this now. And then the episode 14 happened, which it dropped a big twist. Episode 15 happened. Oh, the Ghoul episode 16. And now we're here with episode 17, and I think I don't know if it's the best episode right now. I think episode 14 is still the best of the season so far, but I think it is better than episode 16, like in terms of drama, but episode 16 was also really strong too. It's hard for me to decide. So right off the bat, if there's one compliment I can give this episode, is that it is incredibly well structured. Like, we know, like, I remember heading into this episode, I remember seeing the theory go around that, like, Soletta is going to lose a duel. And, like, the more I thought about it, the more I realized, yeah, it could happen. Like, Soletta has been winning every duel she's been in. I think if they really wanted to spice things up, she'd have to lose a duel eventually, because otherwise she'd be kind of a bit too invincible. Like, I still think the previous battles are great, because there's with the battle in episode 14, it was less about who win or lost, but there was like more at stake. It wasn't just a simple solution of Soletta just beating the other person. No, because like honestly, that episode felt like a loss more than anything, just because of how it turned out for her. And so, like, the episode begins with just continuing on the conversation that Murine has with Prospera. That's still one of the best scenes from the last episode, and God, it is so, one of the funniest things about the G-Witch fandom to me. It's just that whole side of people that are just like, you know what? I listen to Prospera too, man. Like, I'd fold as well, personally. I mean, I forgot her voice actor's name, but, like, when she's voiced by that person, it's like, you know what? Bet I listen to her. Screw it. It's like it's a new brand of people who support Makima or something like that. It's just funny to see. It's like, what she manipulates, but like, hear me out. Actually, that's a bad use of hear me out. I love how during the scene with Murine and Soletta talking to each other as they're like going through the school, like Murine brings up the question of if she asked her to get rid of Ariel, would she? And like the fact that she says no, like it basically does give her the reassurance that what she's planning is what she has to do, which is it is really good foreshadowing for the rest of the episode, because I think right there, like, you immediately realize, oh, Soletta is gonna lose and she is gonna lose Ariel as well. I will say, I think that the constant advances and harassments by Elan 5 is like, it's happened like so many times by this point that it's like, alright, we know what to expect this fucker, except he's like escalating it like slightly more each time. Like, it first began in episode 10, and then a little bit in episode 13, then episode 14 again, and then like now right here where he's like, okay, I'm done. This is just straight up harassment and assault at the same time, and I have a taser now. But it does give us a really good Guel moment. Like, that is the first official dub this man has actually had, and it's a great parallel to the first episode, where the roles have basically shifted essentially, and it's just really nice to see how far Guel's character has come along in such like a short amount of time. And then we get what is one of my favorite scenes in the whole episode by far, is just the talk with Guel and Soletta. Like, I think this was a very needed scene after so long of them not being not seeing each other at all, because like Guel left like by the end of episode 9, so they haven't actually seen each other for so long, and it's really nice like knowing the effects that Soletta has had on his development, and how she actually did help him grow. And I am hoping that later, as the series moves forward, it's going to be the other way around. Like, Guel ends up helping Soletta develop, because I think that's where they are going by this point, just based on a number of the scenes, the way he reacts. Like, it is clear that now he is going to help her. And just also, I really like how they address, the whole part where like he ended up liking Soletta. Like, it was there, she rejected, and now they are basically just friends at this point. And it was just a really cute and nice scene to see. Like, it's such a well done moment, and it made my heart warm in a platonic way, you know. And then also Soletta just saying that there's someone precious to her as well, which is obviously, you know, Miorine, and the fact that she's there listening in makes it all the more heartbreaking of what is she's going to do by the end of this episode. Of course, the big set piece of this episode is the duel between Soletta and Guel, and I think this also has a lot of great parallels to specifically episode 3. Like, some shots are like taken like at like from episode 3, like the instead of Soletta and Guel just in, let's call it, in that hallway, and just in that space is Miorine and Guel just talking about things like there, and like clearly the things happening by this point in the series have gone so much further than we were in episode 3. Also, how Guel reacts to what's her name, Cecilia, I think. I'm sorry if I'm wrong about that, but I really like how she taunts him again, but instead his reaction is like calm and very well maintained. It's such a good, when you go side by side his reaction in episode 3 and now, it is such it is such a jump, man. Like, it is so wild how Guel's character is like, he's one of the most developed and fleshed out in this series so far, and that's because I swear this man was suffering left and right so hard as the series went on. He took so many L's, but by the end, but it is so clear he's getting his W's now, and you know what, good for him. It is kind of interesting for me though, how by like once that duel beginning thing happens, you know, the start of a duel, I swear I always get filled for like so much anxiety by this point, because how the last one went down. Like, I don't know, I feel like out of every show, it has been a while since I've seen a show that's given me like this much like anxiety and tension while watching through it. I don't know why. Just think about how the way this show is directed and written, just it's really good at building that tension to me and just keeping me on the edge of my seat. And even though I'm into finding things entertaining for like, maybe, I don't know if it's the right reason or not, like specifically Noriel and Elan 5 just in the same room. I've seen people like make that a ship, and it is like the funniest thing ever, because the two just absolutely hate each other, and yet it is just entertaining to see. Like, they've got such a good back and forth, but whenever I see people the idea of shipping them, it is so funny to me, because it is just built on pure hatred, and I think that's just funny. Now, as for the duel itself, I don't really think like the actual like fight is anything that like special by this point. You know, it's there's nothing really like in terms of like spectacle or anything. It is about it's pretty standard, but I think the main hook about this fight is specifically just Guel actually standing up to Ariel, and like after all his like trauma with the last time he mans like a Gundam like this in an actual battle, and him just pretty much overcoming that in the moment, and basically standing toe to toe with Soletta for a moment. Like, he was still going to lose if Miorine essentially didn't unplug Soletta's controller. Like, Soletta, if she went into like full insane Gundam mode, he would still lose, but the effort he gave here was like extremely like commendable. It is the stakes by this point are so much different than episode like 3, the last time Soletta and Guel dueled. Like, for there it was such a clear like Soletta has to beat this guy, but now it feels like such a messier situation where like there are pros and cons to both Guel and Soletta winning here, although in the end Guel at the moment it's for the quote-unquote greater good that he wins, despite how heartbroken Soletta is. It is absolutely hilarious to me that this is like the episode where it is so blatant that like Soletta and Miorine like each other, but it's also the one where like the quote-unquote like divorce happens. Because, I mean, first off, that scene is fantastic. The way like Happy Birthday, the music box version, like Happy Birthday is brought in, because of course that song is forever cursed thanks to this series, and I'm so conflicted on how I feel about that. I feel like if I'm ever at a birthday party, the loser nerd brain inside of me is going to think of this series, and it's gonna torture my brain. But overall, I love the little detail about how Miorini's hands are shaking when she's about to pretty much, I keep calling it unplugging her Soletta's controller, but that's essentially what happens. And when Guel actually wins, I love that initial feeling where everyone like who was rooting for Guel just like absolutely pops off and celebrates, because I think it's a very interesting feeling to see that, because I do feel a sense of joy, but it's also like, damn, my main character took the L that time. I remember seeing someone on Twitter like earlier today say how like it feels like the last 3 minutes of an episode in this series feels like tailor made for you to constantly rewatch, like at least like most of the episodes in season 3. And that is so true here, because like if it's not your favorite scene, it is a scene that sticks out. You're still going to rewatch it, and like, goddamn, the way Murone is so cold to Soletta, and just it's basically a breakup scene. You know, that's what it is. There's no dancing around it. And God, it is so well directed, because I mean, like, it's easy to pick up that Murone does not want to do this. You know, she's doing this to like basically protect Soletta. Like, it's a very messy situation, but that's why like I'm so invested in it. And this is basically going to be the low point for Soletta as a character, because largely it has been I feel like Soletta as a character first, I want to say that she is my favorite character in the series, and she's like, I love her as a protagonist. Like, I love Soletta Mercury. Okay, we love the Mercurian Gundam girl in this house, but she has mostly been a very character that influences others specifically. Like, she has her own moments of development and fleshing out, of course, throughout the series, like episode 10 and 11. Like, you know, she has some great moments of realization, but I think by this point it is going to be like her growth this time, and less about how she's helping others grow. And I am very curious to see how that unfolds, because like, God, this is the lowest we've seen her in this series. Like, she basically lost, I guess, everything in this. You know, like, Murone pretty much ditches her. She's gonna lose Ariel. Who knows what her mom even thinks of her at this point, because we saw that permit score thing happen. We saw her headgear light up thing. Something happened, and we don't know how much Soletta's mom even needs her right now. Like, at this point, the only thing she has left is Earth House, and they probably also think that Murone is like a traitor or something like that. Overall, just the last few minutes is just, it is so good. The drama and the angst is absolutely filling me. Like, Kana Ichinose's voice acting as Soletta is still great. You know, Miorene's VA, Lin, is doing a fantastic job. I saw little bits of what apparently the radio was like after the episode, and it was just fun learning how like Lin was like so devastated when recording these lines, man. It is so fun hearing about how like the emotions actors can go through and having to like make scenes like these. Like, I remember her apparently actually being unsettled from Prospero's voice acting in the scene in episode 16, and just stuff like that is so good. Like, The Witch of Mercury, like, as a series, it's like hitting all the angstiness that I love, and I don't know how if anyone else also feels that way. Like like the tone and the way the show is written, like, and stuff like the OP, the ED, which are both fantastic in this season, by the way. They are both incredible, especially the ED. God, that is like one of the best EDs I've ever seen in my life. But just the drama, I'm just always so invested in it by this point, because yeah, man, I don't know. I love Soletta and Murone. I love a lot of these characters. Even if they don't get a lot of screen time, I feel like this show does a great job showcasing their personalities in very subtle and like small ways. Even just by like contrasting two personalities like in one. And just, man, this is like my favorite show that I'm following right now. And I just can't wait to see more of it, really. Although we gotta wait 2 weeks until the next episode, because I from what everyone has been saying, the next episode is a recap episode. So like, okay, that's longer than we'll be waiting. Okay, I think I could do it. I don't know, it'll feel like torture at points, but I'll do it, I guess. So yeah, that is basically everything I want to get out about the new episode of Witch From Mercury. I hope y'all like this discussion. I don't think I have anything else to point out besides like, I'm sorry, Goel, that new hair is not doing it. Like, it's not the worst thing ever, but man, I know character growth and all that, but this ain't it, Chief. But yeah, if people like this kind of video, like just me quickly getting my thoughts out about like The Witch From Mercury, I can do more of these as the new episodes come out. But besides that, hope y'all had fun hearing my word vomits about this series that I'm very attached to right now, and I hope y'all have a good day. Okay, bye bye.